You know the most underrated player in the Man United team is? See, now people are going to think I'm trolling. Compared to how he's rated, to how good he is.
If you say Matt, I'm going on.
It's Jesse Lingard.
Go away, man. Go away. I'll walk away as well.
What the fuck did I just say?
And I love you, T.
Filthy at 5 debate is back. Before we get into the debate, because you've already seen a little clip, the way the editors, they take something funny and they put it at the beginning, then it comes the intro. So before we get into this debate, everyone subscribe to the channel. Obviously, you've seen us, Twitter, stupid views on comments that are totally 100% founded about Liverpool. And on Facebook about Marshall and all this stuff. So obviously, people are interested in what we've got to say. We've got an extended crew today. But just because most people hate me, Stevo, can you tell them to subscribe?
Yes, subscribe now, down below.
Crutches.
Subscribe now, down below. Do you swipe it down below? Was it up above? To that, notifications, all of that.
He doesn't want to share a mic.
No, nothing on you, bro. Fucking leaning over everything.
But this is what's happening.
Backup singer.
This is what's happening now. Is this debate format is making people want to actually argue about football a lot. So we have an extended crew today. We got from my right to my left, Poet.
Oh, hi everyone.
Rey Mysterio.
Muchas gracias.
Rueben. Stevo The Madman.
I said you was Mexican.
You did.
He thinks he's Mexican.
He lives on the top rope, that one.
We got J2K.
Yeah.
Liverpool. We got somebody Liverpool on the show now, so he can back your boys. Mo Salah overrated. Margs.
The king of R&B. You two's was funny though. You two's was funny though.
Do you believe that? King of R&B?
You know, no, you lost. You played Unbreakable. That was like, you played some Alicia Keys something, and I said J2K's won.
No, I'm saying
Bro, Unbreakable's big though.
Stuff. I told him, like,
you will not do it when it's intermediate, man. You deal with them at intermediate level.
Oh,
I'm ready.
He played
I'm ready.
video
Yeah,
at
big
11
tune.
o'clock.
Big tune.
By 1 o'clock,
Yes.
not one.
He's been annoyed for half an hour.
No, I'm good now. You know what? I'm good. I'm a dick, right? But everyone's sharing. I didn't know. There you go.
All right, today's debate, which I've got written on my powerful laptop that people think has superpowers and helps me to have controversial football opinions, but actually just has the format of the show on, is we are going to debate the most underrated player at all of the big six teams. The big six is not the top six, because unfortunately Arsenal and Tottenham are having howlers. But the big six is Arsenal, Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham. Who wants to get things started? Does anyone have a player that they are massively motivated? Margs is motivated. Go on, Margs.
What team we're going to start with?
No, if you've got a player that's at the front of your chest, get him off.
Overrated?
Underrated.
Underrated.
We did overrated.
James Milner.
So you
Liverpool.
Yeah, James Milner. I think he's underrated.
No, but he's rated.
He's rated.
No, he's rated. We all rate him.
He's not rated like he's...
No, we just call him
boring.
boring.
Caps, that's rated.
You don't rate him like
Mark
you're supposed
Noble's
to.
not rated, but he's not at one of the big clubs.
No, he's definitely not.
Why are you doing this for?
I'm just saying, that would be underrated. Someone that hasn't got an England cap, someone that never had their time.
There's
Milner's
people with
had his
England
time.
caps that
Milner's won
people
leagues.
don't rate. It's the general consensus, isn't it? It's not about
This
because
is,
they're getting England
this is a
caps.
guy who won the Premier League title at Manchester City and at Liverpool, right? And he's earning, I think, when he's having Liverpool free transfer, I think it's 150 bags a week.
Which was a lot of the time.
What kind of ratings does he need other than trophy cabinet,
And
60
you know
caps,
what?
big
The work
contract?
the work that he does is so overlooked.
No, it's not. We all rate Milner.
He's on my list. He's on my list.
Do you rate Milner?
Yeah.
No one's saying Milner when they're talking about players. No one.
No, because he's not
No,
there.
because he's
But then wait.
not in a certain conversations, but it doesn't mean he's not rated. I
But then
think Milner
wait,
is
when
rated.
you got injured, you didn't skip a beat.
Say that again.
When you got injured, you didn't skip a beat.
He's not like Jordan Henderson, greatest Liverpool captain of all time. When he gets injured, the results dip.
Liverpool lose to Arsenal at the Emirates.
Jordan Henderson, by the way, who since 2017 has only started 3 losses for Liverpool, 2 against City, 1 against Tottenham. Since 2017. Just wanted to throw that out there, GOAT captain.
What I'm saying is James Milner is he's definitely overlooked. Not overlooked, sorry, underrated. I feel like the work. That's my type of player. You see, when you reach 30s and that, when you still think you're a bit of a baller yourself, you start liking attributes of man that are around that age group as well. You respect it. Like, you start respecting
That is
football.
true.
Like,
That's
get
true,
me,
bro.
Like, so that Milner's my guy. Like, he come on and just does nastiness. He do just things that
The versatility
it's just,
is
like,
nuts.
It allows the team to go and be sexy. Like, that's my team.
But his skill set limits him to having the commercial success. So therefore, I think with the people that like that skill set, he's recognised because he's one person everyone always says is underrated. So if everyone recognises him as
What do
underrated,
you say his
how
skill
much
set is?
longer does he get recognised for
What do
being
you say his skill
underrated
set
before
is?
you go, well, J2K just gave it to you right now.
Hang about.
Gets the job
Brother,
done.
for one, I know what he's saying, but
He's rated,
Milner's
man.
been rated since 16.
Yeah.
16.
And
Young-
but his
youngest
skill
Premier
set
League
to
goal
answer
scorer,
your
I believe,
youngest.
Against Legion, Sunderland away for Legion United.
Leeds, yeah.
Well, I think James, the Everton young kid,
Yeah,
striker,
yeah.
beat that. But
James
he
Vaughan.
was, his skill set, bruv, he can cross, he can pass, tackle, work rate. People forget about
can do
his
everything.
He's
He's all-
overstepped.
he's an
He can
all-rounder.
do everything.
Both wings,
For as good
both
as he
fullback
is, he is not
positions.
championed enough, and that's why he is
Do you know
underrated.
the only reason I
All
would
those attributes.
He is not
The only
championed
reason-
enough.
the
Man,
only
talk about him
reason-
like he's just alright. Like he's just alright.
The only-
And he's very,
Alright.
very good.
No, but you know why he might not be champion though? Because most people that are champions stay at a club long enough for you to recognise it from the fan base and stay in a position long enough. You're talking about a man that plays left back, right back, centre midfielder. He plays so many different. No, but it's not. No. It's not that it's underrated. It's just that he doesn't stay in one place long enough for people to go, I respect him for this. So now we just respect him for being a utility man and a man that is really good at loads of different things and has achieved a lot of success.
A victim of his own success, his own.
But I don't think he's a victim. I think anybody who does that.
For real.
When you're able to
Because
do
when
all
you're a
them
top
jobs.
footballer, you can play many different
positions, yeah.
Right.
All right, Ruben, go on.
Wijnaldum.
Eh,
Does
see,
he get-
now
does
this
he
is a
get the
counter.
flowers?
Nah, he's rated, fam.
Yeah. No, but he's not.
Is he rated?
He's not as
Is he
rated.
rated how he deserves to be rated?
He's not put in that.
he's not. He
that
should be.
category of
He
where
should
we
be.
talk about
You see
the
how
same players
you
every
see
day.
how people are talking about Hendo for Player of the Year and all of these crazy stuff or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. I don't hear Wijnaldum's name. at all.
Ronaldo.
No,
should
I
be
think
up
people
there
know
with
about Ronaldo.
Young.
Maybe because Klopp changed his role a bit and he's not there slamming in the goals and doing the stuff, and we know he's capable of doing all of that.
Does
But
it
what he
for
does,
Holland.
you know what I'm saying? What he does,
What about
what he
the-
does for Liverpool is vital, and I think majority of people who know football, understand football, rate Wijnaldum. I think that's what I believe.
I think he's not talked about on that level, considering he is the pivotal midfielder in the best team in the world for the last 18 months. But
And the best country at the moment. On
the way, yeah. But his numbers don't. And look, Liverpool's system is that the midfielders don't get mad numbers, but the numbers are not like they shout about him as a central midfielder numbers because he's not a DM, he's a central midfielder. So without the assist and goal numbers, I think it's tough to say people should shout about him. I think with James Milner, you got that versatility, you got all that, but at the same time with James Milner, I would like to know if he's ever not rated at Villa or Newcastle or City or Leeds by their own fan bases.
Yeah, you can be recognised by your house. Like everyone's gonna recognise you at home. I think we're more talking about outside of that, like just people who supposedly understand football generally. Like you're not looking at Milner when you're making your dream teams and that. Like you're not frying him in there.
I don't think he would though. That's the thing.
Who, Wijnaldum?
Wijnaldum, Milner. Back to Milner.
Milner.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
All
It's
right.
like, yeah, well, everyone can
don't think
respect
he
him at
would
the club
though, Jack.
because our eyes are on him and we watch him, innit? Like,
But
Yeah,
I don't
but Jay, he
I'm
hasn't
saying
earned. So the thing is
there's
that.
a lot of man that out there that's getting recognition.
But Jay, what you're saying is he hasn't earned the right for that recognition. I've just told you, man has played multiple positions. Now, personally, if there's players that have played one position for a period of time and they do it better, then the man has played multiple positions. Why the hell would I choose the man that can fix my
think
garden,
it's down to
my
popularity,
bathroom,
man.
No,
my kitchen?
I hear where
I
you're
want the
coming
man
from,
that
yeah.
just fixes
But look,
my kitchen.
he threw
brother.
a name in the ring, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Would you say Wijnaldum's more underrated than James Milner?
And do you know why I will say it? Because we live in an era where people, unfortunately, football is now such an ignorant person's sport. Man can just run in, look at stats, and all of a sudden, that's the top player. And what Tigo's identifying is a player like Wijnaldum, unfortunately, you need to watch the game for 90 minutes to see his contribution, to actually understand what he brings to Liverpool. You having to watch 5-minute highlights like most people, and then looking at the scoreline at the end, doesn't give
Can
you
I
the
interject
information
there,
necessary.
bruv? Because
So
for
it's
Holland,
fucked.
he's scoring hat tricks.
No,
If
for
you
Holland-
actually watch football, you know. Not saying
Stevo.
that to you. No.
I hear that. No, you killed me. You killed me.
No.
That's right. 1-0.
I suppose I did.
Yo,
But,
mix his hat. Right, cool, carry on.
What do you mean? You're dirty.
It's meant to be. Oh no! Look at that!
Eric put
But like,
Oh my god! It just looks like my Burberry hat.
I thought it fell off.
That's what it is, man.
look at last season.
I'm
look at last
Steve-O
season.
today.
Look at last season.
Yeah, no. Ruben's like, forget your hair. We got a job to do.
Look at last season, Champions League semi-finals, when they were down against.
That's every team. Every player on that team.
Okay, no.
credit
They was
for that.
without Mane and Salah, right?
They were.
And Wijnaldum stepped up big time.
So did Divock Origi.
Okay, agreed.
I
He's
mean,
underrated too.
that game was just that game.
But Milner's got 60 plus
think
caps for
Origi's
England.
underrated?
So
Yeah,
Milner's got 60 plus
yeah,
caps for
yeah.
England.
All right, so
Milner's rated,
all right, I want to do this. I want to throw. I want to throw a curveball, right? Because if it's Wijnaldum and he's in the middle of that midfield, and I'm going to say this, how can it not be Jordan Henderson?
Because
What, the most underrated?
How can it not be?
Well, underrated.
You just called him the best captain in Liverpool history?
I called him. What would you call him the best captain in Liverpool history?
Nah.
Because you're wrong.
No. That's what someone was saying. They
I'm
got nothing
basing
to
it on
say.
the
But hear what I'm saying. He's not, because he's just saying as influential
He
as
is
a
though,
Gerrard.
mate,
Well,
like-
it's Gerrard.
If you, oh, not as Gerrard. sorry,
They've lost
sorry,
3
sorry, sorry.
league
This is what I'm
games
saying,
he started
and-
since
and
2017.
I know why you're saying what you're saying, because obviously we've had the success and rare. Gerrard played in shit for how long and had to carry that.
So 1 second.
What?
Stop.
Don't use
1
that as a point.
second.
What?
Don't you dare.
Why not?
Because he
Gerrard's
played with
team-
Stuart Downing.
Excuse me?
Henderson played with Stuart Downing. Should we carry on with his team like Kenny
hang on.
Dalglish?
Gerrard's team had Alonso, Mascherano,
What?
Fair enough, fair
Torres.
Gerrard had
Period.
blessings.
I'm talking Gerrard's. How long was Gerrard's career? That
This team
went
Liver-
all
this
over
team
the place.
Henderson's
We had
got
no-
playing
no,
well.
we-
No, when Gerrard started in 2000, you don't win it.
We are on a diversion right now. I threw it out there to wind up a Liverpool fan, and I apologise, Jay.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
You'll
But hear what
come
I'm
to
saying.
Jesus on this in a couple
No,
of years.
hear what I'm saying. Right, is that, yeah, it's easy to say I actually do think he's slightly underrated.
Has to be.
Because I think his work rate is crazy, and I love
And
it,
the
right?
numbers and the
But
records.
You was trying to compare. You said he's the best Liverpool captain, and I'm not sure about that.
No, that's fine. I know.
where I was
I believe Liverpool fans will come around to it in a couple of years. But if Wijnaldum's the most underrated player in the Liverpool team, then it has to be Henderson.
But Henderson's going
Because-
to get in the team of the year this year. He will get in the Premier League team of the year.
Okay, but do you rate him as
He's in contention for
do
player
you
of the
rate him as one of the best midfielders in the league?
One of the best.
Yeah.
No, I
Okay,
think,
Poet,
I'm afraid I don't.
Skits,
no, I think he.
Stevo, Jay,
One of the best midfielders.
in the league.
He's a Liverpool fan. Of course he
No,
does.
no. Real talk. Like, I rate what he does for our
Your
team.
in your system,
And yes,
definitely.
exactly. I don't know if he's the best midfielder.
Are we saying
One of the best midfielders. We're talking about the captain of
in
Liverpool.
what? Like, what we talking? Top 10, top 20? Like, how many? Like,
Let's say top 5. Let's say top 5.
nah, I don't think top 5.
Not top 5, is he?
When you take a look at that, most of people's opinions and facts and all of this comes from paper. And if you take a look at Jordan Henderson on paper, ooh, don't dribble, mate. If you take a look at Jordan Henderson on paper,
He's getting mad.
He's getting mad, I know. Jordan Henderson on paper has achieved so much, even in like a calendar year. He's achieved more things than most players have achieved in their whole fucking career. Then take a look at, let's watch 90 minutes of Jordan Henderson. Bruv, if he was playing at Emirates the other day, we wouldn't have won that game, I believe. Like, he is just that type of guy.
Well,
so
we
his
shouldn't have won it
influence on the
anyway.
pitch
We
can be
gifted
seen.
you
Shouldn't have won it
dinners,
anyway, no.
but,
We
like,
shouldn't
it
have,
didn't
but I'm
need-
saying the
it didn't-
influence-
It didn't need him.
It did need him.
You did need him
need
because you
him.
lost.
Bro, your heads went.
Don't
Your heads
chat,
went
man, listen,
twice.
Man gave you 2 goals.
Captain Hendo.
Wait, man gave you 2 goals.
Yeah.
And you did nothing
Hendo ain't
before
letting
or
them
after.
get 2
And
goals.
Hendo,
about
when
that.
he starts,
Hendo's
only lost
not
against
letting them
3
get 2 goals.
teams. So that means it doesn't happen when Hendo's there.
I will
I
say
know you're hurt.
To the Henderson
Get
point,
round.
Liverpool's record without Henderson is below 50%.
Oh,
Or
it's
around
terrible.
50%.
I understand
But it's like
what he's doing.
85% when
I
he's in the
understand
team.
what he
So-
does to the team. Don't take it off path. And make
So
me
then-
fun.
But he's rated,
He
though.
influences the team.
He's
I'm talking about
rated.
against
Exactly,
that
he's
Arsenal
rated.
team.
How can it be? I just
We
asked
gifted
you
the
if
game.
he's one of the best
We
midfielders
gifted
in
you
the
the
league.
game.
He's always
I
spoken
know.
about.
You don't have to be one of the best midfielders in the league to be
To be
rated.
rated, exactly.
That's the truth.
No, but if you're not one of the best midfielders in the league and your record is as Henderson's is, you are underrated. And you can't tell me Wijnaldum's more underrated
Now that's a good point.
than the guy who is Liverpool's pivot, who is Liverpool's winner. You can't tell me. And all I'm really doing is rubbing out Wijnaldum. I'm not. That doesn't rub out James Milner because James Milner really is a bring this guy into the team if you really want to win. But Henderson is the guy. Like if he starts, Liverpool. They've lost to 2 teams in the Premier League in games he starts in
It's
2017.
not really maybe if you're going to go to the front three, but when you go into that midfield, it's not really down to individuals. That system and the way Klopp's got them set up, he can
So
play
why
with
don't they
anybody.
do it without
I see
him?
set up with Hendo, Milner, and
So why when
why
he
can't they
doesn't
do it
play do
without
they
him?
lose?
why what?
Why when he doesn't play do they lose?
No, this is my point. So how are we judging it?
behaviour.
Hold on, people, hold on. How are we judging it then? Ain't it just the ratings people give the player?
Yeah.
Or are we going on?
Do you know how fucked I am? I don't even know if I should throw my suggestion in here right now.
I've got another one.
I've got another one. Can I throw one in?
Yeah, let's
And,
move on.
just
Let's
let
move
you
on.
know. I'm gonna say his name. I genuinely believe Firmino is underrated at Liverpool.
Really?
That's not what
8
I'm
goals?
saying.
All right, let me show you why. No, but Steve, just hear me out. Hear me out.
Go on.
Hear me out.
Go on.
The role that he plays, as long as I can remember from watching Premier League, I haven't watched everything, I have never seen a team win the Premier League with a striker playing that role. I've never seen it before. I can't give you one example. Every single team always has a striker that scores 20 plus goals and they win the league. From Vardy to Thierry Henry, Cristiano Ronaldo, everyone.
Do it.
Now Liverpool have got a team where the man in the middle, up top, who's the striker, is not fucking scoring 20 plus goals. But somehow, Liverpool are 90 points, clear in the league. They've got 90 points.
The manager.
I don't think that makes him underrated.
I'm saying
the role he plays.
The role he plays, I just don't think it's a role that people have seen like regularly. Definitely not. So hear me, please let me finish. So I just don't think people appreciate him. So they ignorantly look at him and say he's a striker. Why ain't he scoring goals? Because I don't actually think that's his full-on role to just be a goal scorer. So the position he plays means that he's never going to get the respect that he should get. But if without him, I wonder how effective that front three is.
He gets respect. And
but I don't think he does because people always throw stats.
You see the way he plays and his reputation. It's not based on goals, and if it was, people would be ridiculing him because he's only got 8 goals.
But people do it.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
can show you so many multiple arguments.
The one player who stats don't.
I bet you'll find one in 30 seconds.
There will be a stat that favours him, but they're not goals and assists.
Not like how you've had Omer's a Salah.
Oh my God! I said I'll find one in 30 seconds. 2 seconds. It took me 15 seconds. They're comparing him to fucking Lacazette. Like, this is what I'm saying.
But you should compare it to Lacazette.
You should, yeah, I can't lie to you.
They're comparable.
Cool.
Do you know my thing about Firmino? And I said the same.
Lacazette does a lot for the team as well.
Yeah.
So.
But and Firmino's contributions means that Liverpool have 90 points. He scores in finals. I can tell you what other Firmino.
Because Firmino's surrounded by good players.
You can say that about every player.
No, but I don't think Lacazette can even clean Firmino's boots. So that's the reason why I don't even care about that.
I would say my thing about Milner and my thing about Firmino now is actually I do think they became very, 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 very well rated last season. I think the respect became like, you know what?
Fair enough.
Say what you will about Milner, that guy gets it done. Say what you will about Firmino, that guy gets it done. Do you know who I think is underrated at Liverpool? This is the last player I think we should bring up because we've spent a lot of time on one
Look
thing.
how much crispy took for my crispy. He does that, bro.
And you squash them, you'll waste them.
He dropped him as well. I was just getting on with him.
that goes gym, one crisp.
No, I was getting on with him. I let him put his hand on my shoulder and everything. He's empty them, bruv.
I'll tell you what.
My twins, so by default, I get off the back.
One last player I would say for Liverpool, right? And this is a player that in the past I have had serious issues with as a player that I've had issues with as a player who I've been like, I think he's wasteful, I don't think he's fulfilled his potential necessarily, but over the last 2 years, I think is quietly, like people really don't talk about him, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Listen, that's my guy. That's underrated.
I think he's. I think
that's my
I would say he's under. I don't think people talk about him in a way that. Go on.
No, you can't chat shit about Alex Oxlade.
Do you know what? His injury.
He had a long time at the game with injuries and that and stuff.
His injury spell made everyone.
The question yesterday when I was having a conversation was,
topic.
has he been a better player since he left Arsenal?
Come on.
This is what I was saying. I was like, come on, is that really a question? But this man was arguing that he ain't.
What? Is that an Arsenal fan you asked?
He's been a better player since he's been at Liverpool.
Exactly.
Yeah. But did you ask an Arsenal fan that? Yes,
bro. He wanted to be a central midfielder. They were playing him wide. At the end of his time at Arsenal, they were playing him wing back. He came into the Liverpool team, and the injuries meant it was a slow build into the first team. And I actually feel like that slow build, where Klopp managed his injuries so well, that's meant he's crept under the radar and become one of those crucial Liverpool players.
No, this is not, I don't know about crucial. This is what it is, yeah. He's gone there, he's improved, his career's gone better and stuff like that, yeah. And you can see that he's good. The injuries have hampered him to where he's become a bit part player. So in everything that's gone on in Liverpool, for all the success, he is a bit part player.
Agreed.
So
I don't think there is a bit part player in Liverpool. My thing is,
it's either him or Ronaldo.
How much would you say he's contributed towards them winning the league?
A good amount. I think he's got like 30.
Sir?
I think he's got like 30 plus appearances in the Premier League this year.
Yeah, but you can make 30 plus appearances off the bench. So
well, he didn't make 30 plus appearances off the bench.
How much?
I think it was like
30
18 starts. I think it's something like that. Yeah.
If you was to rank Liverpool's most important players, where would he feature on that list?
He wouldn't be in the top 11.
No, he might not rank in the top 11.
He wouldn't be in the top 11.
But again, I don't think Liverpool have bit part players. They don't have squad players. The squad players are Dejan Lovren, Shaqiri and Divock Origi. Those are the squad players.
We're going to vote then.
All right, let's vote.
Okay.
Margs, you start. Who's the most underrated player at Liverpool?
In my opinion, the most underrated player in the Liverpool team is James Milner.
Jay.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think I'm agreeing.
That's 2. I'm going Jordan Henderson because there's no amount of ratings that could be enough for the guy whose record is where it is. Best Liverpool captain ever.
He does have a point. He does.
I think
I like what Milner does. But
Me too.
Wijnaldum. One of the most underrated in the world in the midfield.
Agreed, Wijnaldum.
So 2-2-1.
I was gonna say Milner, but I'm gonna go Wijnaldum. He don't get chat about too much.
Don't do that.
No, I have to. Wijnaldum,
The saddest
man.
thing is,
Wijnaldum.
Bring it on.
I would have said Jordan Henderson. Because I know if Arsenal had a Jordan Henderson, mate, we got a winner. And that man's a winner. Say what you want about him, he's a bloody winner.
If you had a Milner, you'd do.
I just feel like they
Wijnaldum
talk
won.
about Henderson more than Wijnaldum.
Wijnaldum is now the most underrated player at Liverpool. Officially, because this is a panel of geniuses.
That's facts. Well, that is facts only.
Ronaldo's cold.
He's cold. And he's a lovely guy. Always smiling. Used to have dreads.
Bear Gallagher.
He was like Pharrell Williams.
Got relegated with
Gallagher.
Newcastle.
Yeah, I rate it. Bear Gallagher on him.
When I had him on Pro Evolution, he had dreads. He was a second striker.
Nah, you were playing pro in the. That's
He was
bad.
the
You were playing pro when
rubbed
Wijnaldum
that
had dreads. That's a howler.
Welcome to the league.
before man converted to FIFA, Pro Evolution was the game.
Not then. Not then.
No, it has been then. Yeah.
No, not then. Not when
We're talking
Wijnaldum.
about 6 years ago.
No, it wasn't 6 years ago.
When was it?
I couldn't remember.
Wijnaldum made his debut at 15.
Bro,
He was young.
No, there's no way he
I
was
had him on
picking
Pro. He was a
Wijnaldum
child.
in
When I
pro.
played him on Pro, he was a teenager. He was a child.
Doing too much. Doing
telling
too
you.
much.
Crowd, back me up on this because I know some of you real man play Pro.
Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham.
I feel like I've got one.
Go on, Skits.
I think Mahrez is underrated at City.
Mahrez,
I agree.
Mahrez should be starting every game.
100%.
Well, at a team, not at City, but he should be starting every game
Quality
at
player.
a team. He even with what he's done and the games that he's played, he's still hitting double figures.
26 goal contributions this season.
26 goal contributions.
And
Are you
it's
kidding
like
me?
someone
No one's
I don't
even
really
talking
see
about
still.
him.
Like, I don't understand it. Like you're saying, like that goal contribution, but I feel like I don't see him still.
Why is that, do you
Listen,
reckon?
I don't
'Cause he
understand-
does
I
his
don't
thing.
understand what Man City do.
I think it's because when they had Sane, him and Sterling, they would play so far up and they would connect with each other on those square balls and they would both give each other tap-ins, give each other goals inside the box. When Sane got injured, it was Mahrez was the option on the right and he plays deeper. So it was less about flashy goals that him and Sterling or him and Sane would connect on and more about what he's doing in a deeper position. But Pep Guardiola sees him as a Champions League player, from what I see.
He's cold. Do you see why I think the man in my mad though? Because I'm not even sure whether it made the final edit or not. But when we was doing flops, debate, Mahrez's name got pulled up, and I can't remember who done it.
It won't be me.
I can't remember who done it.
It's alright.
I promise
Bring it
you,
back.
Mahrez's name come up somewhere. Someone try to throw the hat in the ring, and this so like it's the man in my mad.
But it might not be us.
Mahrez.
It might be Harry.
Yeah, but if there's
Harry
no one
Pinero.
here, then what
Wait,
do you do,
wait,
Margs?
I can't remember who it was. That's the worst thing.
You can't remember who it is.
Innit?
But it would be one person, but because it's one person, plural, all of a sudden. The man, then my man.
Who was on that show?
Yo, man.
There's only- Who was on that show? What?
done
There's
my
only
man.
3 of us that were on that show. I don't remember saying that.
Someone threw up Mahrez's name. It never got. It got shot down, I think.
It's part of a debate, though, Margs.
Yeah, but then so
Because we
so
all-
then
we
one
all-
second he's a flop, then he's underrated. It's like make it
the
make
person
sense.
that said it's not even here.
Yeah, but if the person said it's not here, what are we gonna do, Margs?
He could be here.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh, who is it? You don't know. Are you one of them guys? You might as well go work for UK Gossip TV. Fuck off, fans.
They're
Start
back,
chatting
they're back.
facts,
They're back,
guys.
they're back.
Welcome back, UK Gossip.
Yeah, I'm glad they're back.
yeah,
You know I
they
love
It was
it.
probably Milo that said it anyway.
Yeah, it's probably nah. I
bet it was
remember who
Margs.
It probably was Margs. Probably was Margs.
It was you. Listen, you're top of the howler table. For that alone, it has to be top. He's speculating. How you gossiping?
All right, has anyone got another Man City player? Because I think I've got a couple that I think are underrated, but it might not be as underrated as Mahrez.
Zinchenko.
No,
Yeah, he's cold. Cause
I like him, but
I like Rodri.
Rodri's
So
bad.
do I.
Very technical.
Yeah.
Rodri's not
Gundogan?
underrated. Huh?
Gundogan's a good shot.
see Gundogan's on my
Gundogan's a good
list.
shout.
All right, I was
Gundogan's
going
on my
to
list.
pick Turkish boy because I think he's cold, but I don't know if everyone rates him. 'Cause I
No,
think they do.
Gundogan's a good shout.
Yeah, very.
Oh no,
Mahrez is an amazing shout actually.
I was like looking at him
Yeah,
like, oh, this is follow up. No,
I think it's Mahrez, man.
It is Mahrez. It is Mahrez.
Who come after Mahrez then?
I reckon Gundogan.
so Gundogan, like way Pep has him in big games, Gundogan's there. His body doesn't like his injuries before he joined Man City. Made me surprised they signed him. Then he's had little injuries at Man City, but Pep is like he's the guy when the big games come.
Do you know what's mad? What's the criteria? It's like underrated to who? Because when I think about it, ballers know about Gundogan.
No, but it's not that, man. I know what you're saying. This is what I've been trying to figure out, but no one's fucking listened to me. Like, because ballers know the certain players that we're saying, yeah.
Blonde hair.
Huh?
Nothing.
Sorry, Steve, I don't like
Your head's upside down. Listen, right?
Heads upside down.
But listen, so what I'm saying with Gundogan, it's like we all know he's a bad boy player, yeah. But it's the critics. We don't hear about
It's
him.
a quiet burn with Gundogan at Manchester City. Like,
That's true.
His
It
possession's
just goes
as good
under
as
the radar, innit?
yeah,
his
exactly.
possession is up there with Xavi and Iniesta of keeping the ball, the percentage.
Wow.
And that's crazy. If you're in a team like Pep's, that's your star player, really. The person that keeps the ball.
He's just
That's a
quiet.
good shout, though.
He's just
That's a good shout.
he's done it quietly, and there's still more to come, obviously. But yeah, with the injuries and everything, it just feels like Manchester City play two different teams. They play a Champions League team, they play a Premier League
I
team.
understand what Man City do. Like, they're weird to me. They're a strange team. Like some players just go invisible to me. I'm like, what happened to my man? Like, where's-
Yeah.
why? Then they'll come on or some man, and I'm thinking, why weren't he playing this whole game? I
Yeah.
don't know, man. Man City are weird. Like you said, it's like they play two different teams out.
Yeah, they do. And with Sane gone, Margs has had to play a role that isn't necessarily his role. And the problem is, I think Man City will sign someone in that wide right position that then you're like, what's Margs going to do? Does he play in the midfield where Pep hasn't really wanted him to play for the most part? And if so, if
He's
not,
technical
is he
enough.
gonna go?
He's technical enough. Like, I know his game is about beating players, dribbling, but he's got enough technique, enough passing skill that he could do number 10 somewhere.
I feel like Kyle Walker's underrated.
I do.
Yeah,
Massively.
I think he's overrated, so that could be true.
I don't think.
Do you know what it was, I think this year with the him.
One second.
Hold
Why
on,
is he overrated?
one second.
Because I don't rate him as much as other people do.
Well, this year when he got
pace, bro.
Yeah, I just don't rate him as much as other people do.
But when does he ever come up in conversation?
well, this is the thing. He got dropped from the England team this year, and
That was-
the
that
Trent
was right.
the Trent conversation became Trent, and the Wan-Bissaka conversation. Reece James. If you actually watch him this season, he is burning guys on the outside. And granted, he was probably the weak link when they played their
At the
toughest.
time, he had a little dip in the league during this season. He had a little dip at a point when he went through a little phase
Right.
of not, and then he got it back together.
Man City's defense has been a mess this year. I think Kyle Walker has been the most consistent defender.
Bare
at Manchester
goal
City.
line clearances.
I've had an argument with a man that's telling me that he's the best right back in Premier League history.
What?
He's up there.
No.
He's
Right
up there.
there,
Right
right
He's
back
up
in
there.
top position.
No.
Premier
No,
League
no, let's calm
history.
down.
He's
Because
the
it's Gary
best
Neville.
one.
Let's calm down.
It's Gary Neville
Let's
is
calm
the
down.
one, in my opinion.
You know,
So how close is he to Gary Neville? You don't think
I
Gary
don't know.
Neville's been the best
Are you
right back?
judging on
No,
accolades or
no.
skill?
Consistency.
I could have went Zabaleta or something like that.
no,
I'm
don't
not
worry.
gonna lie.
I've got someone on the next team, so we'll get to that.
Listen,
I could have
but
went
the
Zabaleta or
question
something
of
like that. I think, trust me, I think
him being
Zabaleta
the best right back in Premier League history, he's
Wait,
in that
pause.
conversation.
Wait. Zabba who?
Zabaleta,
About him.
Man City.
He's probably one of the best.
Mark, you
one-
You said
understand?
why,
Kyle-
yeah.
Kyle Walker was at Sheffield United, right? And I don't imagine much people knew about him. Then he came to Spurs, built up his reputation, has gone to Man City, has built up his reputation, has played well now. Zabaleta is at West Ham. So we know how that story ended. Who else do you want to
Well,
suggest?
Kyle
Because
Walker
I
will
reckon-
end at West Ham.
Oh, don't say that. I think Kyle Walker will end up.
Nah,
not
Kyle
at West
Walker
Ham.
will end at West
Not
Ham. We all know
Ham.
that. We've
Not
all seen the
West Ham.
future there.
Don't say that.
Oh no, I like Kyle Walker. I think he's underrated, but he ends at West Ham. They let a lot of the personal life stuff interfere, and they let the Trent and Wan-Bissaka conversation just overtake him.
He's better than Wan-Bissaka right now, in my opinion. That's
I
my
just think,
opinion.
you know what it is? I think it's a lot what
I'm
Tigo
glad you
says.
said
I just think the commercial world knows how to make,
At what?
create little
What,
stories.
as a footballer on a whole, or better at defending, or what? Is there certain aspects of his game, or are you just saying he's just generally better? You know what?
How old is Kyle Walker?
29.
So if he's 29 playing for a top side. And Wan-Bissaka is a youth man at Man
Yeah,
United
he's-
doing his
he's-
thing.
he's
But
better
Kyle
than
Walker's been
Wan-Bissaka.
out here on the roads for 9 years doing his thing. I can't just say Wan-Bissaka's better than him.
Yeah, I'm
After
not-
man's made a 9-year
He's
contribution.
30.
Like, come on, my brother.
Is
I
Trent,
understand
is Trent
Wan-Bissaka.
better than him?
The thing is, Trent is on a next thing, but I don't know.
Hey, see you.
1 second, hold up.
Don't be shy.
Hold up. No.
Answer the
But
question.
you know why? Because then I'm going to ask you, is Trent better than Wan-Bissaka?
Yes.
Yes.
So then why are we having this conversation about Trent? Because we know Trent's a special player.
Hang on.
I can't have 20 million Trents. I can have one Trent.
He's a
But
better
there's loads
player.
of
He's not a better
Wan-Bissakas.
defender. He's a better
No, but
player.
it's better. If I say
All
to
round.
Wan-Bissaka-
All round. Sorry, that was a
Go
bit
on,
loud.
go on.
All round, Kyle Walker, because I remember him, 1 turn beating players, 2 sick crosses.
I'm with
yeah?
you. I'm with you.
Not only that,
30
he's
yard
passing.
screamers.
Yes,
He's passing.
Screaming, he's
30 yard
passing
screamers.
sick.
I don't
Giving
think
the
he ends
eyes
at West Ham. Maybe
and
Everton.
defending.
He's-
Goal line clearances.
maybe Everton.
The thing
banter.
With a wall.
The thing.
We're just stuck on the new trend. It's trendy now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka and Trent is trendy right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything he said.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I think Kyle Walker struggles because he's so one-footed. So when they played Real Madrid in the Champions League this year, he was the weak link for the City because Pep really wanted 2-footed players as much as he could. So he played the team that was
You
just
know everything about everything.
But no, I don't. No, I watched this game so many times. This game was one of the most interesting games to me. The fact that he's just a little bit too one-footed is the reason that he's not like, wow, Kyle Walker every week. But he kind of is like that because he's their most consistent defender this season. And he's a goal threat. He's an assist threat. Yep. He's defensively so good. Like the goal line clearances, you can never know how much weight to put on that because Harry Maguire, like he throws his body in the way of things. But I remember when people used to give Terry like, Terry's the man, he throws his body in the way of everything. So I don't know how much credit to give it, except I will say that the best defenders...
That's a huge part of football, though.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's vote. We'll go from poet round now. Manchester City, who's their most underrated player?
I think it has to be Kyle Walker. It has to be. For me, anyway.
I'm saying Margs, no?
I'm going to stay with Mahrez.
I'm sticking with Kyle.
Mahrez.
Yeah, Margs, yeah.
I'll go Kyle Walker.
Yeah, I'll go Kyle Walker. Definitely.
You got to decide and vote here. Unless you want to go mad and go
I'm changing it. No, I'm changing it. Kyle Walker. Yeah, man. Bruv, he's not even in the England team no more at 29.
You convinced me, you know.
What the fuck?
You convinced me, I can't lie. You convinced me.
I'm just going to go with
Margs could cause us a problem here.
I'm going Mahrez.
I knew it! No behaviour! No fucking behaviour! None!
It's Kyle Walker. That's four. That's four, isn't it? 4 on 3. 4 on 3.
Retracted his fuck.
Oh, shit.
4 on 3. So it's Kyle Walker. I'm actually slightly happy about that one. I'm slightly happy about that one.
Because you broke it down, it is understandable, man.
Yeah.
It's so understandable.
Man's at Sheffield United and now he's at Man City.
Hey,
Crazy.
he can't wait. He's looking at him. He's all grabbing the mic. He can't wait for his next one. I think it's shocking, though.
It's not shocking. It's not
All right,
shocking.
Ruben's setting this one up. Go on, Ruben.
The crowd are deadly, you know.
Name the team, then name the player.
Chelsea.
Oh, what?
You fooled me.
Aspilicueta. Definitely. He's never made Premiership Team of the Year. Understand that.
Sure, you sure? You might.
100%. He's never made Premiership Team of the Year.
Chelsea's very hard, by the way, because they've got a small squad. A lot of them are young.
Aspilicueta is rated.
But he's never made I don't. He's
Not like that.
He's only got 20 odd Spanish caps as well. It's like I just don't.
I don't really rate him like that.
He's only got 20 odd.
Who are we talking about? Who do we want to rate him? The pundits or like just the general public?
Where do you rate him? Where do you rate him?
Yeah, exactly.
Who? Aspilicueta.
Yeah, give me your sum him up.
He's one of the best defenders in the fucking league.
Now.
He's cold.
Now.
Well, form. I say this all the time. Form is temporary. Class is permanent.
Age
so when
age
people are going
comes for
through
everybody.
bad patches, I don't hold it against them. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but Mark,
that's my
you're getting
thing.
old. You're getting old.
Yeah,
So there's so many
mate,
rappers that are
age-
just getting old. There's so many people that are just getting old in life and they're just not doing what they're
Can I
doing.
say something, though, yeah?
All right, stop. Poet, what rappers are getting old?
Me?
Hey, listen. You made a good point. He made it. Hey, London Northern supporters, listen, yeah? It's terrible, by the way. Terrible. But he made a good point. Only 20 caps, yeah? Another thing, I think Chelsea fans help me out here. Savage Dan, if you're watching, message me. I think Chelsea bought him at 23. He was 23 years, they got him from Marseille, bought him at 23 years old. Well, now we talk about, someone said a minute ago about Wan-Bissaka's young, This guy, they got him young and straight away. He was playing left back, right back.
Didn't
He's
Gary
been so
and
consistent.
Carragher put him in the Premier League team of the decade or something like that in the last decade? Didn't he?
I'll be
make
real.
it?
Do you know why I know he weren't rated? I went for a shoot with Adidas here, cuz, and they had him on the sidelines with Victor Moses. Like, yeah, you can talk to them if you want.
I would just say that right now he's crucial to Chelsea's team because of the experience and everything. They need that. But actually, if you watch him play, he occupies weird spaces. He crowds out midfielders, and I think the club need to move on from him. So I get what you're saying because over the course of his career, 100%, like elite defender. But at the Chelsea team now, would I say he's underrated? Maybe underappreciated because he brings all that experience, but underrated as a player.
Underappreciated.
I like underappreciated.
If I see Aspilicueta on the team shirt, I'm not going.
They use that at home.
Job done. Job
Use that at
done.
home.
Hey, I want to start telling my gal, you know.
Who else?
I'm underappreciated.
You know, yeah, I like that one.
Who else?
Who's underappreciated?
The only other
What,
player
Chelsea?
I've got is Ross Barkley.
No.
Because I think Ross Barkley is clowns. I think there's the gap between how people talk about Ross Barkley,
And how
especially
good he
on Twitter,
actually is.
and the fact if you look at what he's done this season, when Chelsea they've had trouble creating from the midfield, he's bagged goals. He's bagged important goals.
Yeah, he's one of those.
Willian.
So next.
Because every person I talk to, every Chelsea fan, everyone says, you don't work hard enough, you don't...
Not
Yeah.
Miles.
William's the
Not
hardest
Miles.
working
He doesn't work hard
One second.
Land.
Hold up, brother. Hold up, not you. These men over there. Yeah, bro, they say he's not consistent enough. Yeah, this is Chelsea fans telling me this. Because I can't believe it. I'm saying they're saying he's going to go Miami. How do you let Willian go Miami? Like, this guy's one of the best.
Willian's a good shot.
That's mad. They'll talk
Well, he's going Miami.
That's what they're talking
No,
about.
he's going to a top 4 team next year.
Come off the bench.
I heard today, I see it today, but it's rumours, who knows?
Willian's a good shot.
Lit over there.
I was going to say Kovacic.
Play football.
I was going to say Kovacic.
Hold on, one sec, boys.
Hey, you mugs.
Kovacic, how do you say his name? I don't think people understand how good this guy
man.
is.
So
like,
good.
Literally, like how good this guy is. He's a baller. What are you showing me?
Hello?
Oh, you went there? Yeah. I don't think people understand how good this guy is. Like when I just see him, like he's passed the eye test for
Pulisic
me,
stands out
and
more
he's
than
just. I see him when they don't start him, and he comes and he injects so much pace and stuff into the team, and that he just changes games and stuff. He is absolutely cold.
I think at this
baller.
stage in his career, he is the definition of an underrated player.
That's what I think. Yeah, he's cold. I'll take him all day.
When you talk
all
about
day.
one of the best midfielders,
Yes.
if you don't mention Kovacic, then you'll be going, okay, you're 12 months away.
There you go.
You'll
Does
see
he
it.
play the game, T, for Chelsea?
Lampard's rotating everybody.
So much. I remember when he came on against Arsenal, I think it was last season, him and Hazard came on, and I think we were winning 2-1 or something like that, and he completely changed the game. He's too busy. He's just in man's face, 24. He's jarring.
He was on loan. Technically, he was on loan with like a option to buy that I think they had to buy. So I think last year maybe people looked at him and thought, Jorginho. Everyone talked about Jorginho because he came into his form after a rough first season. That's who everyone talked about.
They probably only took him because of the ban, didn't it? They had coming out.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, maybe because it was prearranged, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah, I would say underrated is the right word.
That's a good shot, Margs.
Thank you.
That's a fucking good shot.
Great shot.
I don't know if there's anyone left to even bring to the table. I just felt like everyone's unanimous.
Williams was a good shout as well.
Willian's a good shout.
Short memory, bro. You just gassing me out, slapping my hand and shit.
Willian's a good shout, but
Flowers, won't he?
we did the overrated players a couple of weeks ago, and Miles brought him to the table and pointed out that he'd never had more than 8 goals in a season. I don't think he'd ever had double digits assists in a season. So Miles was on the overrated. Let's vote then. Margs, Chelsea's most underrated player is
Kovacic.
I'll say Kovacic.
Kovacic.
Ruben.
You're gonna kill me. Ashwin will hit us still.
Yeah, well, you have to. You brought him to the table. That's your vote. Kovacic. All right, so Kovacic, Mateo Kovacic, right? Yeah. Who wants to throw out an Arsenal player?
Shaka.
You're fucking taking it.
He's rated.
Shaka.
Would you take him at yours?
No.
Then why are you bringing him up?
Because you lot talk about him like he's a piece of shit, and when he doesn't play, you lot are even worse than when he does
You know why
play.
we talk about him like that? It's because we don't like the style of his play.
You lot usually win when he's playing. It's like the Jordan Henderson thing. I'm not sure what the numbers are. You could have to research that in your own time. But
No, we share time.
I'm just saying, when Xhaka plays, Arsenal are better off for it.
100%.
And the Arsenal fans, try and drag him through the dirt. He's your best midfielder, but you just try and pretend like he's not. No, you act like he's not. Xhaka is the most underrated player in your team right now.
It's a shout because look, they don't win without him.
He's the most underrated shittest player.
That's your
Arsenal's
problem.
midfield is
Lacazette. Lacazette.
Underrated.
Let me explain.
This hoax.
No. His goal contribution against the top 6. He has 15 goal contributions in 23 games. Aubameyang and players like that
See
don't
you
do
referencing your
that.
Google. Referencing your Google. How many away goals has he got the whole time he's been at Arsenal?
I agree, that's a problem. However, he also does a lot for the team.
More than Firmino.
Similar to
Firmino has one. No, I mean like goals, away goals.
Firmino's got one goal at home. No, at home.
the way Lacazette is spoken about amongst Arsenal fans is absolutely ridiculous.
They love him. They call him Lacazette.
No, they do not love him. We got Arsenal fans around here.
You call him Lacazette. I've seen it.
Marks, why is it when one person does something, all of a sudden it's a represent? You remind me of my teacher in school.
Yes.
There were 2 bad students, 30 youths, we're all bad.
He's like the police.
Blood clot about every minute.
He's the police.
Troops calls him that.
Lacazette,
Not me.
and Alexander Lacazette is behind Eddie Nketiah right now.
Okay.
That's why he's underrated though, T.
Nah, I think that's why Eddie Nketiah is underrated.
Like the way I've said it before, the way Lacazette is hold-up play. If he's in a different team that has a different strategy, which we can say this with a lot of players, a team that is playing off him, that knows, okay, he's going to hold the ball up. He holds the ball up for like 6 seconds sometimes.
And then I also ask you...
no runners.
Can I hold you right there?
Go on, brother.
Lacazette's skill set is not good enough to play for a big enough club for them to accommodate a system for him. See the way he plays? He should just go West Ham, like you lot, or Everton, and just deal with the circumstances.
Big Sam, would love Lacazette.
Would love him, but
yeah,
you're
right.
Got Bayern Munich.
But he's better technically than that.
Got what?
He's better
Lewandowski, Man City got what? Aguero. Like all the big sides have got big strikers that don't play like Lacazette.
Tottenham?
We're just gonna have it.
Because of Mourinho, the way they play.
Harry Kane?
Harry Kane plays
No,
like
but I'm
Lacazette.
saying but Harry Kane might go. But I'm saying a team like that's a big team, right?
No, Tottenham would need a better striker than that. They would need a better striker than that.
That's how good I think he is, you know.
If Lacazette leaves Arsenal, where does he go? If he left right now, what top side does Lacazette get into? With his skill set right now.
Go on, Margs.
Arsenal need to move on from Lacazette. That's just a fact.
100%.
Arsenal need to move on from him.
Forget a toast of you, mate.
All right. Do you want to see Stevo have a fit?
Yeah.
Arsenal's most underrated player is David Luiz.
Let's go.
I didn't even need to look at him.
He's had another mistake on the last game.
I would have said that.
David
I would have
Luiz.
said that.
What?
I would have said
Tego
that.
has gone mad.
Really?
I would have
Poet,
said
look.
that.
Wait, let me
would've
talk. Because me and Poet have had this Louise thing for ages, right?
No,
He's
it's
seen this
Stevo,
now.
Stevo,
He's thinking,
Stevo.
in his head, he's thinking,
No, Stevo.
I know he's not the most underrated, but this might, yeah?
No, Steve, I'm thinking this. I rate him for what he does, and I only rate him for that. And I don't think he's underrated in my head. No, I rate him for the reasons why he's at Arsenal. So, when he makes a mistake against Man City and you lot go, I expect that of him. So, where you lot are disappointed, I'm not.
He's the most
I don't-
underrated
That answer.
DM.
Hold on.
What do you rate him for? Like, what do you?
Do you know what? Like I said, I just rate him because I know if we go and play a Burnley, or we go and play a Southampton, or we go and play
He'll
a
make a
Norwich,
mistake.
or we go and play any of them sides.
So for doing his job, then
so
See, when we
what
play
he's
a
paid
big
to do.
side, like a Man City, I know he's going to make a mistake. When we play a big side, which is more watched by more people, so it's commercialised more, because these lot will cuss David Luiz, but when we're winning 4-1 or 4-0 or 2-0, none of these don't watch the game. But as soon as we play Man City and everyone's watching it and he makes a mistake,
And I think that's crucial. I mean, that's crucial because what you said about Lacazette scoring against top 6 teams, it's irrelevant. Here's why. You're not a top 6 team.
9.
You're a 9th place team. David Luiz, Arsenal this season without David Luiz in that defence are conceding 100 goals.
Might be better off.
They're conceding 100 goals. And David Luiz in a back three, as has been proven at his time at Chelsea, is as good of a back three centre back as you can have.
Like
and what do Arsenal play right now?
Back free.
David Luiz, I get the mistakes, I get it. And he cost them games in big games.
it.
David Luiz,
He's their best centre back.
£8 million.
He's their best centre back.
Stevo.
He's an £8 million flop. How is that even possible?
Stevo.
Sorry, he's the best centre back.
Stevo, me and you had the argument. Stevo, me and you had the argument, yeah? Let me show you just like basic. Let's just take a look at it from the basic whatever. There's top 6, yeah? That means we're going to play the top, say the 5 clubs better than them. We're going to play them on 10 occasions for the season. But you see average sides, we're going to play them a lot more often. So we got more opportunities of getting more points because we're playing a lot more average sides. If Lacazette just wants to score in 10 games of the season, why the fuck do I care? What are we going to do for the rest of the games? So realistically, David Luiz, if you look at it like that, is a good signing because it just means that
he's their best
not gonna
defender.
turn
This is where
up
Stevo,
in
he's their best
10
defender.
games.
He's their best
10
defender.
games.
He's their best centre
He
back.
doesn't turn up in 10 games, so I'm comfortable with that.
You could be the best technical defender and have the best ability. If you're going on that pitch when you've been brought in to steady the ship, by the way, he has been brought in to steady the ship. He was the old head, he was the old head. And he's done 8 game-changing mistakes.
Oh no, it's terrible.
8.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
That's why I don't think underrated, but I
The
understand the
young
argument.
people have to live
And then can I say something as well, boys? Can
I
say
agree
something
with
as
that.
well?
That's bad.
And back in my day, I'm old
Oi.
cunt, yeah. But back in my day, I remember them calling.
Marks, raise your cup, you're old as well, mate. Raise your cup, you're
For the
old.
OGs.
But
calling me
in
out,
my
man.
day, I remember Berbatov. So it's not even that far back, to be fair, but he was a flat track bully. He'd only score against the small teams, and everyone used to say, "Oh, he only scores against small teams." I'm like, well, he scored 5 goals against Blackburn. That's still a good player. He just scored 5 goals in the Premier League in 1 game. And they said it's against. Now this guy's doing that.
Berbatov's
Now we don't want him to
got
fucking
a
score.
hat-trick against Liverpool.
But wait, no. Berbatov was at the Premier League champions.
Berbatov was in a team with Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yeah.
Wayne Rooney. He was with ballers.
And he could only score against-
Lacazette
Yeah, but
can't even get into the French side.
No, I'm
Don't
sorry.
compare
I'm
him
sorry.
to
You-
Bumba Club.
Give me the Arsenal defence with fucking Give me the Arsenal defence with Callum Chambers, Rob Holding, Mustafi in that central defence. They're conceding 1 billion goals. David Luiz is the best centre back at Arsenal. Who is?
No, he actually is the best centre back though. He is the best centre back at Arsenal.
It's not David Luiz.
The best centre back doesn't make you lose.
Every
8
one of
games.
Arsenal players do that.
If you're Arsenal and then
He's
centre
better than
backs like this,
Socrates
you
and
are the best.
Mustafi.
He ain't better than Rob Holding.
What? Oh hell!
Now I'll be honest with you. You wanna know the truth? You wanna know the truth? Sorry. If you're the best of a bad bunch, I don't care. You're still shit. Shit is shit amongst shit.
All right, but
He'll still be underrated.
Think about it. If David Luiz is going to make mistakes in 10 games, then when you've got 28 games for him to be good, why do I care?
No, the
bro?
mistakes are outrageous and they're unacceptable.
outrageous, but
they're
he saves us
unacceptable.
more points,
but
bro.
but you look at that Tottenham game they played a couple of weeks ago, which is when this video comes out. It means a couple of weeks ago. Mustafi was dancing. He was skating. And David Luiz was not skating. And Mustafi will mostly go under the radar as being someone who Mourinho looked at and went, target him. Kolasinac was playing left centre back.
Tierney's the best defender in your team, by the way.
Well, let's talk centre backs.
Okay.
Because Tierney's a wing back anyway. Whether that's a defender.
He's a left back.
But it lets you know how bad our situation is at Arsenal, bro.
The way
I
Arsenal
agree with
fans
that
have the way Arsenal fans have mythologized Rob Holding at this point.
You know
Like
why?
this guy does
we
not
don't see
play.
the same mistakes that Rob Holding does. That
Yeah, but
Luiz
you- but
does.
you-
Should we go through the Rob Holding mistakes? 'Cause I got a ton of them.
Not
Against
like his, bro.
What?
Not like his,
Okay,
mate.
let's pause. Because in that Liverpool game, big man,
And it
he
matters.
might as well have not been there. Mane had so much fucking space.
It was alright. You had Lacazette, so it was alright.
It matters because you know why it matters. One second. You lot ain't saying.
So when we play a team and we don't have Lacazette, then what happens? When Rob Holding is everywhere apart from where he's
You lot ain't saying Rob Holding.
Nketiah hat-trick.
You lot ain't saying Rob Holding's underrated.
Take a look. Do
Steve,
you know what it is? Take a look where the goal comes from. Rob Holding disappears so badly. David Luiz comes out to try and cover him. By trying to cover him, on the left-hand side, they're going, oh shit, where is Rob Holding? Everyone's figuring out late. Why? Because Rob Holding kept making the same fucking mistake.
But that's
bruv.
fine.
He's
Look,
not good
Rob
enough.
Holding's not up for
Look
debate.
at the penalty in the North London
That's a
derby.
good point. He's
Look
not
at
up
the
for
penalty in the
debate.
North
No,
London derby.
let's leave Rob Holding. I just think if anything, you want to talk about most overrated players at Arsenal, I say Rob Holding by Arsenal fans.
Okay.
Yes,
They've got in their head that the blonde hair, blue eyed guy
And
is
because he
the
can
elite
kick ball. He
defender.
looks nice on the
And
ball.
by the way,
And because he cost $2 million from
yo,
Bolton. Go on,
you see,
Steve.
like, so again, because we are on the same page with this in the sense that this underrated thing, because I'm saying is not Leno underrated around the world?
Well, maybe.
I'll agree
As
with
a
that.
keeper.
I definitely
Emmy
agree with that
Martinez is underrated at this
Definitely,
point.
yeah.
Oh, my
Small
God.
sample size.
20 years.
Small sample size though.
Jordy,
Been at Arsenal for time.
Emmy Martinez.
He's done all right. First little error he made the other day and he got away with it with a kick against the guy, but
Against Liverpool.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
the
know
first
what?
error in
all right, so
all
you
them games.
you kicked ball professionally.
Yeah.
You know,
It
you need a
happens.
run of games, and when you get a run of games, all the little mistakes you make, get out of it. But if you're Martinez and you've had to wait 10 years to get a bloody run of games, I can't expect you to just come in and just do the job proper.
what's up? Let's keep it to Leno though. Leno.
Jay,
Around the world in
Jay,
general.
have you got any advances on an Arsenal underrated player? Do you feel motivated by this at
No,
all?
literally, none. You see me, I've been out of this one today.
Yeah,
You don't watch him. You don't watch him. Shit.
Brother.
You don't watch him. Shit. You don't watch him.
Huh?
You don't watch him.
Nah,
Shit.
for me, Arsenal will just
Wasting 90
it's
minutes.
like Tottenham. It's just
Don't
shit.
you watch everyone?
Don't you watch them for entertainment at
Watch
least?
games,
I
bro.
watch
I watch
everyone. I watch
the team.
everyone.
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm not on that. Watch
Margs
everyone.
is a
I'm
big
really-
champion of Granit
I'm really
Xhaka
not-
as
I'm not
Arsenal's
on
best
it.
midfielder. And he's consistent with
He's
it.
been getting rated
I've
lately.
seen enough of my man Luiz to see that what he does for your team and what he doesn't do.
Yeah, of course.
So
Doesn't do.
that's about it. Lacazette, yeah, all these man shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's-
I hear you, though, Jay. I hear you.
like there's nothing for me to debate about in this one.
Poet, who's the most underrated Arsenal player?
I'm gonna agree with Margs. Granit Xhaka.
Granit Xhaka.
Nah, Leno.
Lacazette.
Wow.
Leno.
We need that.
In world football, he's
I think
one of
Leno
the
is.
best keepers.
I think Leno is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So I think quietly, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So I would say, yeah, I didn't
Better
think
than
of
the
him.
hair, I'll tell you that. He's
Hell yeah, right now.
Jay, who's the most underrated player at Arsenal? Luiz. Yeah, so I should have stayed with you, man.
No, stay. Go back.
Would have been a good power
No,
block.
go
man.
back.
Margs.
Leno's not better than Kasper Schmeichel. I don't think he's better than Pickford. I'm not sure.
So who's the worst?
What?
You're saying
Leno's really
Xhaka
good.
though, right?
I hate
I'm saying
Arsenal,
Xhaka.
but
Yeah, I'm
Leno
saying
is really
Xhaka.
good.
I'm saying Xhaka.
1-2, Leno, right? So Leno wins.
That was a crazy shout.
Last minute, bro.
That's a crazy
About
shout.
4 I've put in.
We gotta let Margs do this. Margs, who is Manchester United's most underrated player?
Paul Pogba.
What?
I get it, but
this is it.
I think you know what, Ruben.
Underrated or
No, hold on, Ruben. Thanks for coming, Ruben.
right.
Who is Manchester United's most underrated player?
More than underrated.
Wan-Bissaka.
Here we go.
no.
Both crazy shouts. One's 100 million, one's 50 million.
I know who I think it is.
Martial.
No, I think it's McTominay. That's the man that should be
No,
starting for
people
Manchester
rate
United.
McTominay.
The reason why I say McTominay is purely because I think the balance in your midfield is comical. And the only person that will provide a bit of balance that makes some bloody sense right now with 2 AMs, even in the PM, is someone like McTominay.
McTominay is good.
It's
But did you see the
Matic.
game
I got
yesterday?
Matic.
Did you see the game? We needed Matic. McTominay is
Matic
good.
is the guy right
McTominay
now.
is good, but we needed Matic on that
the
pitch.
experience.
So every game, Pogba will do something, and the general consensus will be only a few people in world football can do that. What Pogba just did. No one ever debates that. No one ever debates Pogba's talent. Maybe they don't like how he fits within the United team, but no one ever debates the talent
And you
itself.
never hear anyone say that's not one of the 3 best players in the league.
I think I love Pogs.
His application
Yeah,
is
his application.
so poor.
Like even
Or it has been at times. Whether it is now.
The way man
It
talk
is
about
now.
Pogba is
You know
is a
Margs,
joke.
you know what's so funny?
The way man talk about
Margs.
Pogba is a job.
No, but
It's
Margs
rude.
has nothing to do with
Back
that.
me up, please.
No, blame Ole Gunnar
facts,
Solskjaer.
facts.
I don't know why you not believe in a time where I'm saying we're talking about James Rodriguez complaining that the number 10 role is disappearing. I don't understand how now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer says, well, I'll play 2 number 10s. But all the top sides are not playing number 10s. But you got Pogba there and you're trying to convince yourself he's box to box. When
Pogba's
he's
not
giving
a
away
number 10.
One second. He's
Why do
giving
you
away
keep
the
saying
ball.
he's a number
Oh,
10?
thank
Pogba's
you,
not a number
Corey.
10.
Yes.
He's giving away the ball against Aston Villa.
no,
He's
no,
giving
no,
away the ball
no.
against Aston Villa. He's giving away the ball against Aston Villa. They hit the post. He's doing it against Southampton. They score.
Yes.
He's
Sorry.
doing it against Crystal Palace. You don't understand.
One
Where he's
second.
playing right now,
Just so we can
he's
just,
not
I
a
just wanna
box-to-box guy.
Let's get some context to this because he keeps saying this. Do you not feel like Pogba's a number 10?
No.
I definitely don't think he can play number 10.
No.
He needs to
No.
find his
Only
position.
Poet feels like this.
But I
What
just
the fuck
said,
are you talking
you
about?
got 2 AMs. So what's an AM?
He's definitely an attacking midfielder.
You fucking imbecile. You start listening.
whoa.
Listening.
Whoa.
Start listening. That's the 3rd time you've done it to me now.
You lot have got
Start
communication
listening.
problems. You 2 have got communication
I'm on
problems.
you.
Can I say something?
I'm on
You need to stop the
100%.
foolishness.
100%.
Backing you with Xhaka, you turned on me.
Yeah.
Now I'm on you. You've done it too much.
Marks.
You're on Pogba for no reason.
Mark,
I'm
can I
not.
say something?
Go on.
Now, and Tigo will tell you, and when I put a level of a player and what I expect and whatnot, right? So Pogba, if we're putting Pogba in that top echelons, yeah?
Echelons.
Which he is.
Echelon.
That's echelon, that's excellence, that's etch a sketch. It's all 3.
If we are, I believe, bruv, you can't give away the ball as much as he does. You can't miss as many shots as he does. And that comes to decision. That's decision making, bro. So his decision making for me lets him down. And that's why for me, he's a great player technically.
Can I just
but
say, yeah, at Juventus,
And
at
this
one
is why
point,
for me,
at Juventus,
top goals
at
only
Juventus,
14.
he's
Hold
playing
on.
left wing. At Juventus, he was playing left wing. At France, he's playing further forward. So I'm saying to you, where Pogba is going to do his bits is in the final third.
I believe
so if
that.
I know that, why am I making him play box to box?
Okay, but that's a different question to being
But Marks,
underrated.
what I'm going to say is,
That's what I'm saying. You can't be in this
most
argument.
people will acknowledge Pogba is our most talented player.
But
Pogba
he's
is
so good.
Second
You see
most
that?
talented in the league.
But
So
okay,
good.
so if that's the case, he can't be underrated. If
so
if
good.
everyone would acknowledge he's our best player,
Underappreciated,
someone will say,
Underappreciated. He's
okay,
not
maybe
appreciated.
underappreciated.
I wouldn't even
But he's
say
not
that. I wouldn't even say that.
He can't be underrated if people
I would say
acknowledge he's
unfulfilled.
our best player. Someone
And
saying
then with that as well, he's unfulfilled.
Unfulfilled.
Man changed their arguments to suit them for what the
Nah, come on.
Because every other
come
time, man
on.
talk about Pogba like he's ain't shit.
That's how arguments work, by the way. That's how
he's our
arguments
best
work.
player.
Like, I agree with
Pogba
that.
is good,
People
fam.
talk like that.
This is what men are doing.
But like what you were saying when you saw, what was you saying? Like when people agree that he's world
best.
class, etc.
Yes.
Is cool, but like, what does that mean when you've got responsibilities to upkeep in your midfield? Do you know what I mean? Like you could be
Crucial.
But Jay, why give someone a responsibility that they've never shown you in their whole entire life? I've never seen Pogba. One second, I've never seen Pogba display good defensive responsibilities. I love defending.
He's not just
But
defensive.
no,
maybe
we can't
attacking
do
when he
this.
doesn't, But you know what?
We
I
can't
don't
do
want him
this.
to think about
We can't do
defensive.
this. We can't do this because you're talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
That's why
Fact
you
of the
need
matter
Milner in
is,
your team
since
anyway.
Bruno Fernandes has been at Manchester United and they've had a 10, which there could be an argument they signed him to replace Paul Pogba. But since he's been there, they haven't lost. They've won all but 2 games, which were 2 draws, at least at time of recording. So I wouldn't say Pogba Fernandes, it hasn't failed yet.
Agreed.
Like I get it. Like he does give the ball away, but I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer
I'm not saying it's
overplaying.
failed yet, but
So
you're gonna
it doesn't.
see
So
the
it doesn't.
progress.
I don't think it comes into the conversation about underrated.
No, he's not underrated at all. I'm never.
No.
He's not underrated. Pogba underrated. That's a stupid thing to say.
I think we should move on from Pogba.
This is the episode you don't want to give him his flowers. Give him to him. Go on. I'm not gonna stop you.
He's unfulfilled,
always
bro.
give his
He's
flowers.
unfulfilled. If he signs a new deal at Manchester United and you're a Champions League team, to me, he's no longer a flop. I'm saying if he leaves this summer, Man United, or if he leaves this summer, period, £100 million for that is a failure. It's a flop. But that's a different debate from a different time, and I'm on record with it. I think a lot of people misunderstand my take on Paul Pogba. Second most talented player in the league by far. Second, I'd say. De Bruyne.
Do you mean to be honest with you? You lot are racist like Specs, fam. You listen to these ITV commentators like Clyde, that's why he gets demoted. You see a tall black guy, or Patrick Vieira, he's box to box. Fuck that, he's not box to box.
I'm with him
fam.
on that.
I know what Pogba is,
We
fam. I've
want
watched
him.
him for bare long, fam. He's not a man that carries the ball from his. He's a man that you give him responsibility in the
he can
final
do
third
anything.
and say, do whatever you
He
want.
can do anything.
I'll have
He can do
Matic and I'll have
everything,
another
actually.
defensive
He can actually do
midfielder.
everything. We want
No,
him.
but he needs to
We're
be told,
desperate.
do
But
whatever you want.
let's get off Pogba because
Don't
there's
tell
no
him
way
he loses the ball
he's the most
defensively.
underrated player in Man United. There's no way. You know the most underrated player in the Man United team is. See now people are gonna think I'm trolling. Compared to how he's rated, to how good he is,
If you say Matt, I'm going home.
it's Jesse Lingard.
Go away, man. Go away. I'll walk away as well.
And I love you, T.
He made.
I need you lot to take him off our hands. Give us 35 million. Take Jones
He
and
may
Lingard.
be our worst player.
Oi.
Now let's hear what
He'll do him.
Tigo has to
Well,
say.
that's what
Let him land.
That's what I'm saying.
Let him land. Let him land.
Let him land.
Let him land.
The sky is clear for landing.
Best.
Thank you, Ruben.
Leicester at best.
Thank you, Ruben, because you just made my point for me. What did you say?
What did I say?
He's maybe our worst player. The level at which he's rated compared to the level at which he has as talent. Now his confidence is shot.
Yes, battered, man.
He needs a new situation. He needs a new club. He needs to reset. The level. If you're saying he's Manchester United's worst player,
One of. Not the worst.
We
Phil
had
Jones-
a debate.
Phil Jones is
We
the
had a
worst, he's
debate
one of.
about United's worst player, and he didn't even come up in the conversation.
he did not.
He didn't even come up in
He
the
did not.
conversation. So that's not the general consensus.
We're back.
No.
We're back.
Thank you.
Jesse
That's not the general
Lingard
consensus.
is not anywhere near as bad as Manchester United fans will have you believe. And I actually think there's a disease at Manchester United where rival fans pick a player, they run him into the ground, and Man United fans get frustrated to the point that they turn on them to a degree that they try and destroy their
That ain't
grip.
got nothing-
Let's
the
talk
way-
about Lukaku.
Let's talk about Di Maria.
I agree.
Let's talk about Falcao.
I agree.
Let's talk about Luke
Lukaku-
Shaw today.
You
Let's
don't
talk about
mind how you're
Paul
talking
Pogba.
about my
Let's
team
talk. We
in
can
front
actually
of
go on
me. This is what I'm
forever.
saying.
Should we carry on? Should we
You're
carry
just
on?
chatting shit.
I can show you
You're just
videos
chatting
where they're
shit.
booing Paul
Let's
Pogba.
talk about Chris Smalling.
Oh my, that's my player. That
Manchester
is my
United
player.
fans were defending him until they
No, I never
stopped.
killed him.
And
He's
then
a
they
good-
went,
Phil Jones
he
is
is not
He's
good
a
enough.
good one-on-one defender. He's not good on the ball. He can't bring the ball. He can't do what we want him to do.
Cool. But I'm saying Phil Jones is nowhere near as bad as Man United fans, and Man United fans defended him
Phil Jones
until
is done at
because
it.
yeah, he is. He
Another
100% he is.
donkey.
100% he is. But rival fans destroyed these players. It's not that
Take
bad.
him.
It's not that bad.
Who fill it?
But he hasn't played enough this season. He's played like 5 or 6 games or something. Look, Manchester United fans take all this abuse about their players and they defend them, and then one day one thing goes wrong on a pitch and they all decide
It's
at the
not that,
same
'cause we
time
can-
he's shit.
No,
not
we stand by
not
our players.
He's not good enough. No, you don't.
We stand
No,
by
you
our players,
don't.
and we'll defend them for as long as we can. But after a while, sometimes some things
but
man do are undefendable.
and
It's
what that is, that
undefensible.
when the levy breaks, you lot collapse. And what you did with what you've done with Jesse Lingard is you've thrown him out to the wolves, and you said, you know what, we've defended you for years, and now because of all that defense, you've let us down. We're gonna punish you by saying
Lingard's
you're the worst.
time is done. It's like I said, we need to move on from Lingard. He
I'm saying-
needs to
but
go.
So compared to the level that people say he's at and the level that he's actually at,
Does
he's
he-
the most underrated
does
player.
he
at Man
belong at
United.
Manchester
level is he
United?
actually
No.
He doesn't
How
belong
close
at
is he
Manchester
to-
United.
how
Not
close
because
is
of
he to
quality,
England team?
because you've destroyed him.
How close is he
So
to the England
quality-wise,
team?
where does
If
he
he leaves
belong?
United, where's he go?
Where does he belong?
I'd like to see him at Leicester. I'd like to see him at Leicester.
Leicester, West Ham, Everton.
I'd-
mate.
I'd see him-
Stop
I'd-
that.
Leicester?
Jesse Lingard could go Leicester.
Oh my.
I'd like to see
Lingard
him.
can go Leicester.
I'd like to see him at Arsenal.
I'm not even gonna lie. He could do a job at Arsenal.
Anyone is gonna do a job at Arsenal.
Tell them again.
Anyone's going to do a job at Arsenal. But I do see him at West Ham. Honestly.
No, he could go. He could go Arsenal. He actually could go Arsenal. He
100%
could,
he could.
and he would improve the team.
Oh, you would, yeah.
Yeah, that's
fuming, I
fact.
heard that.
With confidence, the guy's confidence has been destroyed, and I think Man United fans have a lot to answer for. And I think it's weird the way that they treat a lot of their
Needs to
players.
be closer to tape and them clubs there.
Yeah, he hasn't had a trim in a while.
He's underrated though.
He is of course he's underrated.
He's in the England team, bro.
Yeah, but what does that mean? When's the last time they won the World Cup? 1966. You want to rate you because
Can
you're
I come back to Phil Jones' argument though? Only in the sense that since Fergie left, every United manager that's come in, they've all been under pressure for this attacking football. So I believe that they've concentrated on attacking football, and these young defenders at the time that they had around them that didn't really know the ins and outs of football.
It's a fair argument.
I think they haven't been really coached as much as they should have been on system.
They weren't nurtured at level. So
a lot of these defenders are going in as just go and play in the defence. They're not like saying, you know what, we're United, this is how we defend, learn how to defend, grow. That's not been happening. So a lot of defenders that have gone to United have looked shit, not because of their individual ability. I just bodied that, by the way.
I disagree.
What? Come again?
I disagree.
Tego just said I disagree.
You can disagree, but he laid it out.
It was cute. It was cute.
It was
That's
cute.
an argument.
I think what you're in the midst of.
It was cute.
You're in the midst of a transition. Phil Jones was raised at Blackburn Rovers, where the core centre-back in attributes probably were... as an academy prospect I'm talking. The academy he was raised in, a lot of it was balls in the air. A lot of it was like direct attacking football. What you've got now is a generation of probably under 25-year-old centre-backs who were raised in big academies where they have only played against techie ball players. So the next generation of centre-backs playing at the elite level, someone like Van Dijk is the anomaly, because he knows how to play that ball in the air, deal with the direct ball, deal with the last game. So to me, Phil Jones is just a player.
He's referring to the game against Arsenal.
Phil Jones's injuries stopped him from becoming the player he could be. But yeah, he's not underrated.
From becoming future John Terry, future captain. Right.
No, I do hear where Tego's coming from though, because if you're playing under more difficult conditions, you're going to become a better player for it. So
not better player, but you're going to be more suited to that style of defending. The next generation of centre-backs is going to be shorter, they're going to be smaller, they're going to be faster, they're going to be better ball players. Because if you go to the Chelsea Academy and you go, right, who did you grow up playing against? Mason Mount, Billy Gilmore.
I hear you.
These players, and that's every academy's filled with these players now. Yeah. And the surfaces are better, the conditions are better. So centre-backs, Stevo, I hate to say it, mate, centre-backs are getting smaller, they're getting sharper.
You're right, and I would have been great. But
absolutely.
But I have to say, there still was techie players back in the day.
No, that's
you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course there was.
Julian Dix,
so
they're just
not Julian Dix. And they should still they should still learn how to defend. Like there's defensive coaches.
They learn how to defend in a different way.
McAllister.
They're defending by attacking.
But the rules are still they're still tucking. We move up at the same time. These are fundamentals these are the players that don't look like they're fucking doing those fundamentals and looking out of place. He's always on the floor making faces because of the fundamentals. Phil Jones, yeah.
I think Phil Jones is a runner games. It's always been his problem.
I don't think he's underrated though. I was just saying
Oh, he bought him for no reason.
But our defensive record is an aberration. If I'm honest, the only side when I'm watching United, the only side I don't worry when a player's going at is Wan-Bissaka. I never worry about him.
Luke Shaw underrated. Luke Shaw.
You could say so, but
he got your player of the year last year or the year before, did he not? Is he underrated?
I wouldn't call him underrated.
Not even in the England team.
Think about it. We only thought Luke Shaw was good because of his brief spell at Southampton as an 18-year-old. He's actually been bad longer than he's been good for
no,
him. So I can't.
He had a good year under Van Gaal. He had a good year under Van Gaal. He had to do with injuries. He's come back.
Why do Man United fans compare Man United to Man United? You know what you achieve at Man United? If it's not good enough for the league, who gives a shit? Like, oh my God, he's done so well this year.
He's looked all right this year. When Oli put him in the left side of a back three, he's looked good. He started to get himself together and he's trying to put him.
Who's the best left back in the Premier League?
Who's the best what?
Left back in the Premier League.
Robertson.
How far is Shaw from Robertson?
That's tough to say.
No, I'm just asking you a question.
Ability-wise,
not ability-wise, just in terms of, let's take a look at all the things
Shaw's got the ability.
No, let's look at all the variables that you spoke about, Tego. You spoke about form, you spoke about where you are in life, all of that. We can see a lot from Luke Shaw. I'm saying to you, how close is Luke Shaw, for whatever reason, to becoming Robertson based upon what we have today? Yes, it's difficult, but let's just have a...
Not far.
I don't think it would ever happen.
Not far.
So you think it would ever happen?
With the ability, can't be far.
No.
Yeah.
With life's variables...
Mentality.
So for me personally, I don't care about him being player of the year. He may have all the ability in the world, but maybe it goes down to...
So are you saying he's underrated?
Am I saying underrated? Not at all.
Let's go from Margs around. Margs, who's Man United's most underrated player? Don't say Paul Pogba.
Oh, I can't say him now.
Say what you want.
You'll be alone if you say him.
Huh?
You'll be alone.
Yeah. I'll down this
but the Man United fan blogs are going to be
I
like,
would die on this island alone. I have no issue.
This is why I love him.
He's still our best player.
Go on, who is it?
Paul Pogba.
Go on.
Fucking rude boy. I'm
Jay.
sorry.
Go on, you don't watch us either.
Fucking rude boy. I'm sorry. I love it. What? No, I just love Mark. I don't give a fuck. Paul Pogba, what?
Yeah, I don't want to say Paul Pogba.
It's not Paul Pogba. That's why you don't want to say him.
You hear me, innit?
Nah, I don't like the criticism, but there is a responsibility he's supposed to have, and that is the bottom line. I'm gonna say Luke Shaw. Fuck it.
No, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I'm saying Jesse Lingard.
Oh my God.
That's a howler.
Oh, please.
Jesse,
If ever
you've
I've
got
heard
Jesse, you've got one person in the
He's
world.
just trying to get on his table at tape. Yes,
Jesse, you've got one person in the world riding for you. I'm here.
And Craig. Mitch.
Oh, and Craig as well.
Trying
Me
to
and
get
Craig.
bottles and that.
Steve.
Nah, you're getting mad ratings.
That's a howler.
You know what?
I think he's the best
Luke
man.
Shaw. Thank
God.
you.
Luke Shaw's winning right now. This is bad.
One Bissaka, I believe he's the
Oh
best
my
man
God, we're
in
never
the
going to agree this.
That is a howler.
No, he ain't. There's no
Oh,
way.
first banner in the works.
I'm just gonna say McTominay still. I think he's
Okay,
patriotic.
okay.
I think he has the ability
Poe,
to
if
become
if you don't
the
say-
future captain of Man United.
If you don't
Skits, I'll take that, I'll take
say someone that hasn't been mentioned, or who did you guys say?
You're
again?
rigging it.
The only person I've got to
But
say is the
Tom-
argument I heard that made the most sense to me was Matic. That's the only person that
Oh
made
my
sense.
God!
Luke Shaw.
So wait, we
Him!
So the whole of Man
Robot!
United is fucked.
The robot. Oh my God.
Luke Shaw's
Do you know
one.
what it is, Ruben? Ruben, it's, I don't know. It could be like, do
You know,
If
Luke
say
Shaw's
this
not a
person-
terrible shout.
All right. Last team.
Who is it? Oh, Spurs.
To me,
Oh, fuck.
Musa Sissoko is the most underrated player at Tottenham. I don't think it's close.
Completely agree.
Harry Winks.
Oh, Harry's not here. Harry Panero's not here. Shit.
Oh, he would have gone mad.
Yeah.
I'm going Sissoko. Because you're talking about a natural box to box, or he might play right wing sometimes. He does exactly what it says on the tin. He's
Who
not
calls
gonna be
Sissoko
Harry
shit
Kane.
or anything?
Hang on.
Bro, Tottenham fans were not happy
sorry.
with him for the first
Not
year.
happy.
Hang
Not
about.
happy.
Again, the rules, like what I'm saying. So I would have thrown in Son. Because
hear that.
one
I hear
second,
that. I hear that.
because
No,
around the
I
world,
hear you. I
he's
hear
one
you.
of the best footballers in the world.
And he's never in that conversation.
Never.
Never in that conversation.
Yes, brother.
Asian lives matter. ALM.
When the
ALM.
COVID thing struck, no one cared about him no more.
He's South Korean.
No, he
though,
was in
bro.
the war.
No, but no one cared
He
about
was
him.
in the
As soon
army
as
when
Wuhan
COVID
came
struck.
out and anything to do with Asia was COVID.
Him
That man rubbed him out.
Of course it is,
different.
yeah.
All the jokes and that makes it into a joke.
Yeah.
But he's actually a world.
He's underrated because he's that
Bro,
good.
he shoots that goals and that man.
Like, we think jokes are jokes, but that really affects the profile and everything.
I agree. I'm with
Bro,
you.
You know what
Son
it
is a
I don't
Uta.
know what his perception is around the world, and because I think he's so cold, that's why I wouldn't put him as underrated, because I see him
Can I
as
just
so
say?
cold.
I
agree.
got something. When we did the overrated players, he didn't bring him up, but before we had a debate before, and he was talking Son. So
Overrated.
yes, you were.
What did I say about
Overrated.
Son? What did I say
You
about
said I'm
Son?
thinking about Son.
Is that another howler on a
Fuck you.
Oh, you're top.
That is not
You're
on camera.
top.
Robbie
That is not
Howler.
on camera.
Robbie Howler. It's just going mad.
That is lies. That is lies. There is no proof of that.
Man United.
There is no proof. There is no proof of that. There is no proof of that. I rate
It
Son.
happened, guys. It happened.
I rate Son. He's trying to make me nibble.
Where's the proof of the? Where's the
He's
proof
trying
of
to
the
make me
thing that
nibble.
you said the other
He's trying to make
in
me
this
nibble.
episode? What did he say a
Yes,
minute ago?
that is not true. That is not true.
Yeah, but
That's a good shout though, because I think he is one of the best players in the league, and I feel like he's never gonna be. Well, maybe not never gonna be, but he has not been looked at as being like fucking hell.
player.
Son's playing. Be scared.
And when every time Son plays, you want to talk about a man that scores against Burnley away or fucking Chelsea at home. He has no respect for no one. These South American players and the people that have come from Asia, Cuba, and Real Madrid, not only do they work hard, they've got technical ability, they're sick. They don't just fit the whole I work hard premise of half of these English players back in the day. They're actually sick and they're so humble.
Seems like a nice guy.
He's what Firmino should have
proper
been.
humble.
All right.
What?
Fuck off.
Ruben, take it away.
Fuck off.
I want to throw another name into the hat. Dele Alli.
Ooh, yeah, but
Dele Alli.
he went from overrated to underrated in about a year.
That's crazy.
Dele Alli is
It happens.
underrated.
It happens.
That could be true, because man talk about Dele Alli like he's pissed.
Yeah,
He's
like
that's
he's
very
terrible. I agree.
He is very cold.
But it happened, Jay.
right
I can't lie. It actually happened.
But this is what I said to you. I said it before. I say it all the time. Form is temporary, class is permanent. A man talking about Dele Alli like he's shit because he's going through a little rough patch at the moment.
Was it 50
You know what I'm
club-
trying to say?
was it 50
But
club or
he
50
is
goals?
50
he
Premier
is
League,
actually a very, very dope player.
When Mourinho-
he's extremely dope. I like Dele Alli.
And he
I like
compliments
that
Harry
He
Kane
can always get it back. Man.
perfectly.
The only thing he can't get back is his watch. That's it.
Jesus Christ. Big man.
Fucking
He had
hell.
insurance anyway, don't
Yeah,
worry.
I had to step in there, bruv. Come on.
Fuck
He's a
off,
lovely
man.
kid,
This
mate.
is FilthyFellas.
Lovely.
Go get your fucking watch back.
It's on brand.
He's definitely on brand.
That's on brand. That's on brand.
He
That's an on-brand
said,
comment to make.
fuck it, it's filthy fellas. Go get your watch back.
Hey, That's a good
He
one,
definitely. To say he was overrated is maybe a bit extreme. He was just talked about in like this whoa way. He might have deserved it. It's possible. Look at that goal against Crystal Palace. You actually look at his 50 goals. There's some fucking good goals in there. And he ain't a striker. He ain't a striker.
Dele Alli, that goal against Crystal Palace was Matt East to punish Arsenal. He scored against big.
That one
he's a good
season
player.
he killed it.
But
He's had a rough 12
I like
months
that.
in terms
I
of
think
perception.
You swayed me. I know.
But you know when you said to me form and class and so on and so forth, the class he has, when they rated him so highly, I never saw him as that player. I've never seen him as. I don't see the way England supported Dele Alli. I just don't rate him like that.
Hello.
It wasn't
I just
there
looked
yet.
at him
Like,
as
to
he wasn't
the
there
extent where
yet.
they were
Like
talking.
he was like they just rated
Hello.
him so early before he had
Yo,
done anything. I
You
don't
know what it was?
think-
You know what it was? What I saw with him is what I saw with an it was like an early Frank Lampard, but a bit more advanced.
Now, this is what I'm saying to you. Yeah, I
So
hear that.
what we were saying, I always thought, listen, he's got the one thing you can't teach: the goal, getting a goal. But from midfield as well, you can't teach that shit.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
hear you.
natural. So I thought once he does improve his game, because at the time he looked like he was just wanting to work. He was on the way. But then obviously whatever happens away from football, lifestyle, whatever, you know what I mean? So if he does get that back and he's still got that knack for scoring, he could be a great player. But I think that's what we saw with him. Like it was the fact that it was his potential.
He's an
At the time,
exceptional
you're right, he
footballer.
wasn't there yet.
But you know, I liked him when he was younger.
Yeah, he's
and I
cold.
always say about
I was watching him.
25,
I was watching
yeah.
him back at the midfield at MK Dons, bro.
Yeah.
Like, with my own two eyes, like in the stadium, watching him do his thing. He is very, very, very good.
Dons, you know.
No, but Margs, I don't
Arsenal
doubt
could
that.
ban
Yeah,
up NK.
I don't doubt Dele Alli's good. Yeah, but for me, like, I reckon his whole processing to be a footballer has completely changed. I think I don't know, but I reckon he's believing some of the hype. But when he was younger, he looked hungry. He's not making everyone in the world in pre-season. He
will come
looked
back.
like he was on it.
Let me
And
tell
all
ya.
of a sudden,
You know why?
Adidas deals later.
You want
man is playing dead.
You want to know
fam.
why I know he's coming back? Yeah, because when he was doing all of that, I was speaking to him quite a bit, and he was a Spartan, and he was there, he was in tune, he wasn't going out as much, he was on the net a bit, right? Yeah. Then he disappeared. He was on my live last night, commenting back to the old Dele.
This is evidence here. Right to left. Poet, who is the most underrated player at Tottenham Hotspur?
Since I have no mind of my own, I go with Stevo. Son. And I got two.
I'm gonna go with my people's then. Son.
Dele Alli.
I'm going with Son, obviously, 'cause I said it.
I would struggle to put Son because I rate him that highly. So in my own head, the science doesn't work. So I'm going Musa Sissoko.
I hear that.
No, I'm definitely saying Son for those reasons that we said earlier. Is that I don't think he gets what he deserves.
Give him his
for what
flowers.
he is. And we know he's cold.
I know he's cold.
Is he like? Nah,
I heard that. Makes sense.
I don't
Makes
think
sense.
so. I don't think so. If he
Makes
was
sense.
any other person, it'll be a different story. He'll be in different.
If
circles.
Son's Harry Kane's brother, Jonathan Kane, oh fuck, the
man.
the
Be on the
promotion
top.
and commercial thing around that. Fuck yeah, no.
Yeah,
Go on,
He's at
Margs.
World Player of the Year dinners
Yeah,
all
but
of
we
a
know England
sudden.
with the blue-eyed one kid in it, so I hear that, but Son's cold.
Margs, who you got?
I'm thinking how you're thinking. The way I rate Son so much in
Yeah.
my head, there's no way I can call
He's
him
lying,
underrated.
but
So it's impossible.
If you rate him that highly and you see other people, that means he's
No, I think
underrated.
I see people rating Son. That Son's cold. I don't think that Son gets his flowers. I think Son's cold.
Never
He
team
ain't
of the
in a
year,
Pepsi
nothing.
advert, though.
He's not in a Pepsi advert.
Exactly.
For the way
Dele's
Dele's being dragged, I'm going Dele Alli.
Not this season, not underrated this season. He hasn't done enough this season.
No.
Good player though. Fuck
He's
off,
back though
bruv.
because he was on the live.
Fuck
So
off.
He was on the live, you're back.
All right. So look, crowd.
He knows he doesn't know what time it is.
Crowd, this was a serious debate and people got angry. And I don't think Margs and Poet's relationship will ever recover.
That's why they're so far apart.
Poet's my guy, man.
He's gonna beat me up after this, but it doesn't matter. I'll be back on the live with bruises.
We're in Marks' ends.
Let us know in the comments who was right and who was wrong. Because there is a right and a wrong. Yeah. There is. He said Phil
when it comes
Jones.
to what I'm saying.
Who? Someone said Phil Jones. I was just.
Let us know in the comments and subscribe for the next debate. And too much drink on the table.
And please don't ignore Tigo's howlers.
Yeah, man. And yours.
This guy.